Hey everyone, it's Jay with This Week in Hearthstone. Let's start off a new week with a new ladder climb. We also have a new season that starts today, so I wanted to go over a couple of things really quick because patch 26.0.4 launched. And, when you go to hsreplay.net, you go to the front page, you'll see these win rates right here. And it gets to be a little nerve-wracking or what have you when you look and see Mage so low and Warrior so low and Druid so low. So it's a little disingenuous, little tiny bit disingenuous, because if you go on to donkey.top, and thank you both to HS Replay and donkey.top for providing this data to us. If you look at the patch and you look at, the climb for all and decks and any class, you're going to find every single class represented in here with above a 50% win rate. So if you want to play any of the classes, you'll be able to find at least one deck that gives you a chance to climb the ladder this week. So let's get into the specific ones I looked for. Because of that information that every class has one, I decided to get rid of, hey, let's not deal with any of the paladins, let's not deal with any of the demon hunters or death knights. Actually, yeah, Death Knights. Let's go over some of the newer decks that have been put together because of the patch, or updated decks because of the patch. Enrage Warrior. This one is showing a lot of love now. I like playing this deck. It just didn't work before. Now with Black Rock and Roll being a little bit lower mana cost, and there's some synergies here that are up to the challenge of playing in this meta. So it's like it was before. Your goal is to get out Black Rock and Roll, and then with Lorthamar you go ahead and double the stats of all minions, and then you're gonna have some chunky minions in your hands with in your deck and hands with Trenchstalker, Gromash, and Remornia, and with the Anima Extractor and the Embers of Strength, Instrument Tech. This is just something that'll help you put together a strong board. At the end of the game, you're going to have huge minions that are able to attack, and able to attack for a while. If you look at the matchups, you see right now that this is great against Blood and great against Unholy Death Knight. It's not the greatest against Frost, but I haven't seen as many Frost aggro Death Knights recently in the past couple of days that I had, the week before and the week before that. So this is a pretty fun deck to at least try, and I'm interested in seeing how it's going to go in the next couple of weeks. I don't think it's a perfect setup deck yet. I think there's some more changes that need to be made, but it's definitely better than what we've had in the past couple of weeks. Next deck we'll go through Totem Shaman, and this is one of the easiest decks to pilot in this list right now. It's very simple. You're working on totems. Your goal is to put together a nice board with some totems, start sitting there and try to get Stone right out, so your totems have +2 attack. You have Jive Insect, to where you can sit there and grab a really cheap minion and turn it into Ragnaros. Thing from Below and Gigantotem are synergized with totems completely. And again, it's just one thing works for another, one thing works for another. It's really cool. The matchups, I think, so matchups are, it's a little wonky here. Blood, the win rate's not that great, but it's not that terrible. 49% means that it's not like 20%. Frost Death Knight is at 50% over, across the board. Unholy Death Knight, it's very easy to beat Unholy Death Knights. I would definitely consider, if all you're seeing is Death Knights, to try this one, especially since it's easy to pilot, and it is not very expensive to play this deck as well. Next one, Hybrid Hunter, and this deck has everything. I just saw this today. I've never played this before, but looking at the data and the statistics, it looks pretty fun. It's got everything, like I said. It's got monkeys, it's got the bananas, it's got Doggy Biscuit, it's got Wild Seeds, so there's multiple Wild Seed synergies here. You can disturb the opponent's board that's being played. Dragonbane is awesome. I'm glad that they put this card into core, and this is a very strong, very powerful end game as well with this. You got Hydrolodon, you've got King Crush, and you've got Banjosaur at the end, and this deck is pretty cool. I don't think it's teched out completely yet. I think there should be some tweaks here and there potentially, but it does look fun, and the overall win rate right now is 67%. Not so great against Death Knights, but against everything else pretty much you'll be alright. Next one, Pirate Rogue. Rogue has a lot of decks that have been played recently. First it was Miracle, then it was Thief, and then it was Concoction, Rogue. So Pirate hasn't been seen a lot, but since the patch launched last week, I've seen it a lot more. Watching the streams, I've seen almost everything Rogue related has been Pirate Rogue. And it's just, if you're used to the Pirate synergies, that's all you need to do. You're working on, getting your pirates out and just controlling the board and then hitting the face as much as possible. It's not difficult to play. I do not know the matchups yet. Yeah, see, there's not enough matchups on this one, but this is fairly easy to pilot if you know what Rogue, especially Pirate Rogue synergies are. It's one looking into, and it's not Concoction or Thief Rogue. I believe, yeah, 62% overall win rate right now. It's not great at Death Knights, and it's not great with Demon Hunters, but everything else, if it's around, you might have a shot. Next one, the last one here, is Fatigue Imp Warlock. So it's Imp Warlocks with the Void Virtuoso, and let's see, Crescendo. Those things were added to these. It looks interesting, but I haven't seen it played yet. But with a 65% win rate, and it doesn't look like it's a huge, really expensive, most likely you have 2 of these cards already because they're older cards from the last sets. This could be fairly inexpensive for you to work on, and it's good on the meta right now. I mean, yes, Death Knight is a conversation for every deck you play right now, every class you play. But against Demon Hunter, it's amazing. Against Hunter and Mage and Paladin, Paladin right now, if you look at the meta, I mean, Paladin's right here at the top of the meta. So it's telling you right now that, this has a shot against Paladin, which is the highest ranking class right now. Again, if you're interested in trying this out, you've already played this before, most likely, if you've played the Imp Warlock before, so this should not be a terrible, difficult, complicated thing for you to be able to just pick right back up on. There's just a couple of tweaks needed that way. Again, thanks for hsreplay.net and donkey.top for giving us all of this information. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on playing this week. I'm actually going to work on Totem Shaman, and I'm having a lot of fun right now with Demon Hunter, and that's what I'm working on right now. I'd love to see if I can get my win rate up on Demon Hunter. The amount of wins that I have, it's very, very low, because I haven't had as much fun playing Demon Hunter until Outcast Demon Hunter came out with this past expansion. So, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.